Hello all, welcome back to the second part of the second module. The second part will be comprising of a law. That's an important law in economics called as law of diminishing returns. The law of diminishing returns operates in the short run when we can't change all the factors of production. Further, it studies the change in output by varying the quantity of one input. This LDR, law of diminishing returns, is a law which says that it operates in the short run when we can't change all the factors of production. As I said, in the short run, either we can change labor or we can change capital, but we can't change land, we can't change the organization. So what variation you show in one input will show you the change of an output is the study made by this law called as law of diminishing returns. The total productivity for a given state of technology is bound to increase with an increase in the quantity of a variable input. However, as the quantity of inputs keeps on increasing, the marginal product rises to the maximum and then starts to decline, and eventually it becomes negative. That shows that whenever you're changing an input, particularly you're changing a variable input, and you're increasing the value or you're increasing the quantity of input, but the marginal product, the additional value, the additional product of that whole output will become maximum, and then it starts to decline, and eventually if you prolong it to the longer time it becomes negative. That is the gist of LDR, law of diminishing returns law. Next, there are some basic assumptions. The first assumption is it assumes labor as only one variable input while capital is constant. As I said, in the short run, either labor or either capital can be comparatively taken as a variable input. Here it assumes that only labor is only the variable input. Second one, it assumes that all the laborers are homogeneous in character. They have a same skill, same craftsmanship and same knowledge about producing a product. The third one, it assumes the state of technology is given. That means that technology do not change. It will be the same even after year. Then it assumes the input prices are given. Whatever the input you buy for the production activity, all the input prices will be given. And the last one, it assumes that income, taste, habit remain constant. As I said, this theory works for the short run. They say that labor is homogeneous, the state of technology is given, the input prices is given, and the income, taste and habit remain constant. These are the 5 assumptions you're supposed to mention in this theory. Next, we shall learn the important concept of the theory, that's called stages. You have 3 stages to start up with. The first one is increasing return stage, the second one is diminishing return stage, and the last one is negative return stage. This is the stage 1 I'm explaining you. In the first stage of production, it is characterized by the tremendous growth. You can see the growth rate. From O, it has increased so much. During this stage, any increase in the variable input will lead to the corresponding increase in the rate of production, signifying increase in the marginal return. So whatever returns you are supposed to get from the increase of inputs, you will get the significant increase in the marginal returns. The increase in the rate of production outweighs the investment on the variable input, and at this stage all the curves will be positive in nature. This is the stage 1 where you will get the positive result or positive output or positive increase in output because of positive increase in the input. What input are you changing? You are changing only labor. This is the second 2. In the second stage 2 or the second stage, you will be reading about diminishing returns. This, in the second stage of production, the marginal return starts decreasing. You can see here the curve, it is decreasing. Every extra variable unit added to the production, but still your rate of production will decrease. In other words, the benefit gained from every additional unit of input will be less than the benefit gained from the previous unit. For example, at the 8th unit, you might be getting 60 units of output, but at the 9th unit you are giving, but you will receive a negative or lesser than the previous unit. In this stage, the law of diminishing returns becomes applicable. During this stage, the total product curve is still rising. It tends to rise, but however, it will start taking a dip after this. So, any person who is running a business must have a bell here saying that he will stop the production or stop the inputs being changed to increase its output. And next will be the last stage, that's called stage 3, that's called negative return stage. This is the final stage of production. At this stage, the marginal returns of the output will become completely negative. Any increase in the variable will result in the decrease of the production. Even if you increase giving the inputs, the output from the production will continuously decrease. This happens due to the inefficiency of labor or capital. So, the total product curve will start taking a dip while the other two curves remain maintained in the downward trend. This is the third stage where the negative return follows. Summary of this theory. An increasing returns you have in the first stage is called increasing returns. Total product increases at an increasing rate. You will see the TP curve. It is increasing rate. Next stage is diminishing returns, where total product is increasing but at a decreasing rate. Where you can see how you can judge this is where the marginal product is falling down. The last stage is called negative stage, where the total product is also falling, average product is also falling, and marginal product is also falling. Where you can see after the point B and the point N2, all the product curves, that is total product, average product and marginal product curve is falling. That point where it becomes positive to negative, that point is called point of inflection, where the curve tends to become negative from the positive side. DMR theory in the short run and the long run. In the short run, it appears whenever a firm operates above capacity. In the long run, it might appear due to scarcity or productive resources, operation of the principle of variable proportion, and the cost of entry. Because of these reasons, DMR theory will work in the short run and also in the long run. You have the limitations to the law because underutilization of land will also not give you the better output. Improvement, if it is not there, then the output will not be more. It also takes into consideration the time period which this theory doesn't take. And rare collection, change of income, taste and habit, which is called as an assumption, but it changes due to the timing changes. What is the conclusion you're going to conclude because of this theory you have learned? This brings us to the conclusion that a rational producer would operate in the second stage of production, where both average and marginal products tends to decline. Till the second stage he will work on. For the third stage he will change the other input to give the better output. Hope you understood this theory and thank you for the patience listening.